Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
Gosh, what a day, my darlings. Good evening and a very warm welcome to Bottom today. I've been out and about, wheeling and dealing and ducking and diving and eating a very pleasant, but I would argue somewhat overpriced portion of sausage, chips and curry sauce from a previously untried and entirely unknown eatery in a place that was strange to both me and my companion. But that's me, and it's not all about me, and it's not all about my day. It is about you, my bloody wonderful little walnut whips, still in the packaging and within date and everything. I once did a poo that looked like a walnut whip. True that. And how has your day been? What have you been up to? What have you got to tell me? Do you have any good gossip? Have you heard any good rumours? Has something nearly, but not quite, fallen on your head? What did you have for lunch? What did you have for dinner? How would you rate your underwear today? Tell us something about your underwear. Is it your favourite underwear? Is it just random underwear, picked at random from your underwear drawer? Is it a standard underwear that you wear during working days? Or just, like, we're all friends here, and it's nice to get a little bit of insight into each other. I need a drink. It's been one of those days. But yeah, underpant news. Feature 1, and that one's staying. I like that, underpant news. And I'll give you my underpant news before I have my drink. You may remember that yesterday or the day before, or last week, or last year, I think it was within the last day or two, to be completely honest with you, I reported that I was wearing my emergency underpants and that my most easterly plum had escaped periodically, consistently throughout the day. Well, I've managed to get back on track a little bit, and today I am thankfully wearing my standard issue underwear, and I can report that my plums, both easterly and westerly, have stayed put exactly where they're supposed to all day. And I can assure you that that has been a great relief, not only to me, but I'm sure to you. Now then, I need this. Oh, what a day. What a day. Been good fun though. And it's been a positive day. Shut up and start drinking. All right, I will. Cheers. Oh, that's better. Oh, that's better. Goodness gracious me, said Sunlight Sue, I needed that. I did. I need some more of it as well. Oh, what's for supper tonight? Oh, I'm all bum swizzled. Right, who is amongst us in this fabulous little community live of ours where we check in with each other, we intertwine with each other, we have that focal point of connection where for 1 little hour or possibly a few minutes more, we are like that with each other. We cease to be entirely individual and we become individual, yes, but part of a whole. And that's whole with a W, not the kind of whole that doesn't have a W. I wouldn't want us all to be part of that. But the point is, who've we got? And I'm going to find out. We have got Joe Cox, the lovely Joe Cox. Round of applause, everybody. We have got Simon from Spanking Pumpkins. A round of applause for Simon. We have got Matt, aka Longman, aka underscore. We have got, we've got Neil Gibbons. Neil Gibbons is here. That's wonderful. We've got Steve Cold. We have got, exactly, Simon. There is nothing better than a de-wonking early on. And it does indeed break the tension. We've got John Moretzi. Mild wonkage, says John, and I agree. Oh, compared to the Paris picture. The Paris picture is not wonked. I'm going to put a bloody spirit level on it to prove it. It's not wonked. It's just something else is wonked. The picture isn't. Now, this might be. The picture might not be in line with that, but it's that that's wonked and not the picture. I keep telling you, this whole bloody cottage is on the wonk. As is its occupant, to be fair. I'm often on the wonk, me. Stop picking on my picture. Oh, Adam is here, pure evil, and says, evening, how are we all? Oh, no, Joe's had it. Is it me or is the Rue de Miron sign on a wonk? Oh, God. Let's have a look. Joe, I'll give you that. It is indeed on the wonk. I shall unwonk it. Well spotted, that man. You are the man to spot a wonk. And I'm going to award you 1 wonking point for that. And what the points make? Wonks. That's right. What a lovely audience. So much better than last week's. Oh dear. You should have brought a bucket and spade, Brucey. Does the stream keep buffering or is it my connection? Well, it hasn't buffered here. Evening, Jason, evening, human, says Mike. The lovely classic Wheels Wales. We'll give the lovely Mike a round of applause. And he hasn't called me a tosser yet, but no doubt that will come. John Moretzi says the sound is dropping in and out. You're fine this end. Yeah, you're absolutely fine. Let me check the sound. Sound. Yeah. Sound. Oh, okay. The sound is indeed dropping in and out. I'll give you that. Is it dropping in and out for everybody? Joe is wearing emergency underwear. Matt asks, have I sold any cars today? No, but I've bought some. Oh, maybe he was asking Mike that, and Mike has. Excellent. Jolly good. Well done, Mike. Diddly-do, diddly-do. Oh, Adam might be reorganising his weekend, head to the Yard of Dreams, but he can't be sure. Trisha Alderman is with us. Welcome, Trisha. Thank you for joining. Join. No sound and picture is spot on, says Joe. I don't know what's going on there. Thank you for unwonking the sign. You're welcome. Let's just try the sound again. Thank you. Let's just try the sound again. Let's just try the sound again. Yeah, problem with the sound, is there not? Is there not? And I don't know why. I'll jiggle it a bit. See if that helps. I'm on the normal phone, so shouldn't be an issue with that as far as I'm aware. What else? The internet appears to be working. Oh, how annoying. How annoying. Mustard's here. Neil says sound and pictures fine here. Sound and pictures fine here. Had some buffering, but that stopped. If people are having issues, restart the app and come back on live. Mike says leave it alone, you tosser. Simon says sound has been fine for me, just buffered a couple of times. Give the phone a good wonk, says Joe. Well, a good wonk is never a bad idea, is it? What should we do? What should we do? Let's, it can only be an internet issue, so, and it seems to be okay for some and not others, which is weird. What can we do? Carry on, hope for the best? We could have a glass of wine. I closed the video and reopened it. It works fine now. Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe we should all do that. The internet is receiving a pottering. Oh God, please let's not get him looking at tech. Jolly Juju is here. Welcome. What a treat to have you with us. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. And if your sound is buggered up too, how about a hassle of, what's a hassle of rum? I don't know what a hassle of rum is, but yeah, dive into the rum, mustard. Give it some. Right, I'm going to close down the video and reopen it. And, well, I'm just going to do that basically and see what, if anything, that does. And I will close off the 59,000 apps that I've also got running on this iPad. So yeah, I'll do that. I will reopen the video. Oh, there I am. Look, I've just popped up there. That's handy, isn't it? So that's that. And I will turn the internet off in case it's an internet issue my end. I will turn the internet off on my other portable electric telephones. Hopefully that will free up more interwebs for that one, the one that I'm looking at, or the one that you're looking at me on, or, oh, however it works, I don't know. Hold on, Wi-Fi off, done. And this one, oh, yeah. Wi-Fi off. Right, let's see how we go with that. I'll just do a little test. Testicles, 1, 2, 3. Wi-Fi off. Right, let's see how we go with that. I'll just do a little test. Right, that's sounding absolutely fine to me, and hopefully it is to you too. And we can get back on track. Right, where did I get to? Yeah, Mustard and Jolly Juju came along. Mustard is considering rum. Simon says, crazy bastard. Rum on a Wednesday? Why not? Joe is having a vanilla vodka and Coke, which he suspects is a young drink. Yeah, I'd agree with that. 17 minutes in and no mention of something that is never going to be mentioned, quite honestly. That's, you know, that is a you thing, Matt. It's a you and Simon and Rob thing. And that's lovely. That's great. I support it. But it's not really a me thing. So, you know, you or Simon or whoever else just endlessly spamming it in the comments of the live stream doesn't mean that I'm going to bang on about reading it out. I might not disagree with you, but it's kind of not what the live stream is about, and it's kind of not a feature that I thought of or that I'm involved in. So yeah, it's not really going to get mentioned much, to be honest with you, especially as I no longer have a Streetwise for sale. Yes, once again, Mustard and Boaty have successfully bought a car and kept it for themselves. And why not? It's a talent that we seem to have in spades. Yeah, well, Matt, I did join in when I had one that for sale, but the Streetwise that I had for sale is now, I believe, no longer for sale. And I support the reason it's no longer for sale. The good captain, and this is in a way a tribute to you guys, pushing the features and benefits of a Streetwise. Mustard has taken it on board, and he has adopted a Streetwise as his new Arthur Daily. And as you will see in a video coming soon to a screen near you, I was rather smitten with it too. But I've been out and bought something else. But there's plenty more cars where they came from. You can't blame us for keeping the odd one, can you? Jolly Juju says that 2024 is the year of the Camembert. Oh no, says Simon, one less person to take a sticker, unless Project Nigel would like a sticker. Well, you would have to ask him. Right, let's get up to a different subject, shall we? Oh, God. When are you getting a bloody Streetwise then, Simon? You're talking the talk. When are you going to walk the walk and get your bum out there and buy one? That's what it's about, this community. It's about, apparently, it's about accumulating vehicles. And never, ever, 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 ever selling them. I mean, on the subject of selling vehicles, and I haven't discussed this with Mustard yet, although we have discussed it previously. Back in the first attempt at Mustard and Boaty Do Cars, I'm pretty sure I set up an eBay business account, a separate one to my own, in the name of Mustard and Boaty Do Cars, because I thought it would be rather good fun to eBay the cars. Gives them a period of time, gives them some good video coverage, and then eBay them. I thought that might be a bit of fun. Some of them anyway. Not all cars would be suitable for that. And that's a road we might decide to go down to get a bit of action. Because in all seriousness, Matt and Simon et al. Have got a point. We do need to clear the decks because we've got more cars coming in, and there are plans for more and more cars coming in. We have got plans, believe it or not. Now, as I've said before, we're not overly worried about quick turnovers per se. It's more about pairing the right car with the right owner. But what we're kind of working towards in the maybe not the ultra short term, but the short to medium term, is to just having a bit of a gentle switch change so that all of the cars in the yard are sales cars. And they're all kind of ready to go. And then we're going to have periodic open days where people can just come and browse around and have a look, kind of like a social thing, but also lots of people looking at lots of cars things, and they can chat about it or have a look, without any pressure or without me hanging over their shoulder trying to flog it to them. Not that I would ever do that, obviously. Well, not much anyway. But we do kind of have vague plans. Us, we podger along in a haphazard manner, but we do have ideas and plans. And I'm not overly bothered about accruing stock at the moment. As long as the cars come in at the right money, then they're kind of doing no harm. If you buy them well, they're going to be appreciating in value anyway. So, is it doing any harm having them lying about? Now, it does if there isn't room for them, of course. But if, Mike, bless you, thank you, a super chat. You wonderful person, you. That's very much appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. But if you've got the room, then, what's the harm in them hanging about? They make content. And at the end of the day, Mustard and I, him more than me, are both theoretically YouTubers. And cars do make content, especially if you do things with them and not just leave them parked up down the road and never ever film them. One of the premises on which we sell or try to sell or don't sell modern classic vehicles is that depreciation is no longer a factor, and if anything, they will gradually appreciate in value, if you pick the right one at the right time. So if we've got stock sitting around gently appreciating, and which Mustard gradually improves, when he's bored and has a couple of hours and decides to improve a panel or do a little job or something, no great harm in that as far as I can see. It's not like we're doing this as an actual total business thing, is it? Well, I'll answer that for you. No, it's not. It's another little part of the whole thing that we're doing, and it ticks a number of boxes. So if the odd vehicle makes their way onto our personal fleet for a while, then that's okay. If they sit around for a while, that's okay. They all go in the end. I mean, when have you ever seen Mustard not sell a car? It might take a bloody while, but they go in the end. And it's not like any of us are relying on this for earning a living. It's just an additional little thing. The idea being that, we make a bit of pocket money on them at some point, we get content out of them, and, you know, we lark around, have fun, get to drive different vehicles, get to play with them. Who wouldn't want that? Not me. I love it. Now then, back to the comments. Where do I get to? Simon commandeered my Streetwise for his stand, says Matt. Oh, and Joe says, yay, I'm so pleased. Paul has treated himself to the Streetwise, as it really did suit him. I agree. I totally agree. I said as much in today's daily diary thing. I think it's absolutely bang on for him. And it's justified as well, because he hasn't got a daily card at the moment. You know, what with Eric being all buggered up and stuff. Adam says, you can sell vehicles. Allegedly, yeah. Allegedly. I used to do it quite a lot. Don't do it so much these days. And I'm trying to get to the point, as I mentioned the other night, where I consider my little fleet to be complete. So I'm not looking to sell anything, I'm not looking to buy anything, and any of my efforts and tiny amounts of pocket money will just go to maintaining, improving and enjoying them. So that's what I'm working towards. I'm one car off. I'm one car off, darlings. I reckon. I'll have a Streetwise, says Simon, but we don't talk about them on this channel. Oh, right, jolly good. eBay and Gumtree are great platforms to sell cars on, says Joe. Marketplace is a bit too much. Oh yeah, is it still available? What's your best price? What's your last price? I don't mind Marketplace. I mean, it's free at the end of the day. So when it comes to advertising media, if it's free, bang it on there, on the basis that you never know where your ideal buyer is going to be lurking. But I do agree that the endless messages from chances on Facebook can be time consuming and annoying. You can have a bit of fun with them, of course, as I invariably do, but even that in and of itself is a bit of wasting time. So there we are. I've never bought and sold cars, says Simon. Well, I bet you have. So I can't comment, to be honest. Just hope you both manage to get things moving, as cash flow is a bollocks when it's not happening. Yeah. I mean, you're right, of course. You are right, but it's an extra thing, you know? So if and when it happens, then that's a bonus. It's not like we are relying on it. None of the three of us involved in this have really got a problem with stuff lying about, for all of the reasons that I just mentioned. Although obviously when you're as skint as I am, a little bit of extra cash wouldn't go amiss. But you know what you're gonna do? Do a hard sell and put the wrong person into the car, or put the wrong card into a person. You know, if you've got the luxury of time, then enjoy that luxury, I reckon. Obviously, it would be very, very different if we were doing this as a standalone living. But there are plans to gradually speed things up. And I think it will probably happen naturally, because it's not like when we tried it the first time round. There are going to be cars coming in literally all of the time. And as and when we can free up space at the yard and whatnot, there will be more and more cars coming in, and you know, that will probably at some point necessitate outing them a little bit quicker. But for the moment, it's fine. You know, they come in, we have a bit of a play with them. They're available for sale. It's all good. Boaty, are you and Paul going to take the caravan out on adventures or decorate it? It's such a cool thing to have. I totally agree with that. I think the caravan is amazingly cool. Whether we'll take it out, you know, in theory, that was always a plan. It'll probably happen one day, as will the decoration, but there's so much other stuff going on at the moment. But it's an amazing thing to have, that much is for sure. And the caravan will figure into our, you know, slightly longer term plans as potentially the yard of dreams changes its nature somewhat, and we change gradually what we're doing. So I don't know whether we'll actually, I mean, if it was down to me alone, or if Mustard was in the same position as me, we would have taken it out and had fun with it, because I would have done what I had thought of doing, and just take it out overnight on a Monday night, on the night that I'm free, and have some fun and a laugh and make some cool videos. But Mustard and I aren't in the same place in life. You know, he's a father of young children, and they're lovely children, and he's a lovely father, and he values the time with them, and that means that certain things aren't on. I'm going to be going at some point over the next 10 days or so. I'm going to be going on quite a long acquisition adventure, and I'm going to be doing it alone, because it would mean Mustard getting back after his girls went to sleep, and he wants to be there when they go to bed and when they go to sleep, and quite right too. And equally, he's not going to leave home overnight so he can have fun getting pissed in a caravan with a drunken church minister. You know, as fun as it would be, it's never going to happen. So that means if we take the caravan out, it's just going to be for an hour or two in the afternoon, or to go and have lunch or something. And we've talked about doing that, and it would be fun, but it's a load of faff. And quite honestly, with all of the things that are going on at the moment, we haven't really got the time for that sort of faff. I'm only at the yard one day a week, and although we're trying to get more time together at the moment in some ways, like, you know, daily phone briefings and whatnot, and like today when we just met up somewhere random to get some stuff done, and to get some stuff sorted and have a spot of lunch. Realistically, Monday's my only day at the yard, and so I don't think the caravan adventure thing is going to happen. The decoration thing might happen. I certainly want to get the caravan cozied up, tidied up, and maybe decorated and more functional and more homely. I would like it to be a proper home over winter when we really need it, so that when the weather is totally and utterly pants, at least one of us can be in a warm caravan and get some work doing on other things. I mean, I'm trying to get, well, I haven't actually started yet. Well, I have kind of started. I have set the ball rolling, but I need to be building websites and things and doing that sort of thing for the plans that we've got going on. And having the caravan nice and homely would be a big plus. So decoration, yes. Adventures, probably no. But I am planning my own adventures with the Land Rover and camping. Dear God, I can't believe I've taught myself into doing this. I will do it. I will 100% do it. At least once. I might not ever do it ever again, but I'm going to do it once. I'm going to camp. I'm going to take the Land Rover out with a tent when I acquire one, buy one, steal one, however I get hold of one. And I'm going to go camping and I'm going to film it all and I'll do a live stream and I will hate every second of it, and that should be quite amusing. I've told you before, I'm going to do the full blot outdoors. I'm going to rock up, I'm going to get the tent up or ask somebody who knows what they're doing to get it up for me. Oh, that sounded totally wrong, didn't it? But you know what I mean. And then I'm just going to do the full blot. Right, this is what I've got to eat and drink tonight, and then that'll just be it. I'll eat, I'll cook, I'll eat, I'll get wellied into the booze and just fall unconscious while the camera's still running. I can do that. Not looking forward to the waking up the next day, mind. Especially if there's nowhere to plug a Tassimo in. Oh God, can you imagine? Waking up in a field, all damp and cold, and all you've got is instant coffee. Ugh! Oh, dreadful. Maybe I should camp in a McDonald's. Anyway, that was a long answer to a short question. Sorry I'm late, says Barry. You are excused. Oh, welcome, Barry. I don't know why I'm applauding everybody tonight, but I am. Simon says, and also as Mustard was saying, he needs to clear the yard. He does. Plus, they'll only go up in value if they're not getting in worse condition while sat there. Exactly, Simon. Exactly. That's kind of the point. Sell them as soon as you can, says Mike. No good sitting outside rotting even more, for fuck's sake. If the right buyer comes along straight away, then yeah. But we're kind of in an acquisition phase at the moment. And how long that will last, I don't know. We're just getting to the point where we've, like, take the Codfather, for example. We've had enough time with the Codfather now. We know exactly what's wrong with it. We know what we can or have improved and what we can't. And we've reached a point now where we've accepted that, right, the Codfather needs to be sold as is, priced accordingly, and we need to find the right person who will take it on and make it lovely. And we'll make sure that they've got the money to do that by outing it at the right price. So the Codfather will go properly on sale some point this week. It doesn't hurt to have that period of assessment where we just fully, or where Mustard fully assesses the car, because he's always terrified about selling a bad one or, you know, selling a car with a fault that he wasn't aware of. And if he takes a bit of time and drives the car a bit and looks over them or whatnot, at least he can be fully honest with the buyer, and that's very important to him. And it means that we get to have a bit of fun. You know, we enjoy driving the different cars, and we get content for YouTube out of it as well. So, and there's a part of it that maybe we're just a bit pants at it. I'm probably a bit out of practice, and the logistics make it really difficult. You know, if I was at the yard every day, I think things would happen a lot quicker, but I'm not. And we can't change that. It just is the way it is. But the cars will continue to be bought, and yeah, we've got our buying boots on all the time, and they will at some point sell. Where did I get to? Oh dear, Barry had a dentist appointment and was left hanging. Adam says, I've literally never sold a vehicle in my life. Bloody hell. The only car Barry had trouble selling was the Amiga. Only car I had a loss on. God, I owned an Amiga. 3 litre ex-police. It was an unmarked pursuit car. God, it was quick. And it was fully de-spec'd. It had no leather, it had no climate control, none of the things it should have, apart from really, really good air conditioning. But they were a quick car anyway, the 3 litre 24 valve, and this was police tuned, and oh God, it was quick. I blew the head on that, actually. I don't think I took a loss on it because I bought it double right, but I do remember blowing the head. Or maybe it wasn't fully blown, maybe I blew it. God, I used to rag that car. Actually, I bought that from Arrow Auctions in Redditch, and I'm pretty damn sure I put it back in Arrow Auctions and made a profit on it with a potentially blown head. God, it was quick. I just remember it being really, really quick, and the aircon being really good. Oh, and I remember that it was the first new registration car that I owned. You know, when the registration went from the single letter suffix, as in Y923BOJ, which was Annie Ford's reg, onto whatever, blah blah 51, whatever. Anyway, there we are. Mike says Mustard is wanting to sell them. That's his job, surely. Well, he kind of doesn't think it is. He thinks his job is YouTubing. It just doesn't pay him well enough. That's what he wants to do. He wants his YouTube to be his job and his main income stream, and other things to be secondary. So I'm not sure that he sees it as, well, it's part of his job, isn't it? Simon says, I hate dealing with buyers. I'm dreading putting Margaret up for sale. Why are you selling Margaret? Out of interest. Not that it's any of my business. Mike says, Simon, just sell it. It's easy. And Simon says, I probably will at some point. If when we get the 200 on the road, I need money for bits, then something will have to go. Got some music stuff I can offload first if needed. Simon says, what day is your trip? Is it a weekend? No, it's obviously going to be a Monday. That's the only day I can do trips, isn't it? Because every other day I've got to get back for the restaurant. So it will be Monday, and probably a week on Monday, as in Monday the 31st, I think. Oh, and it's going to be a long old pain in the arse trip as well. It wouldn't be so stressful if you were selling your car to robots, says Juju, the jolly Juju. Anytime you have to deal with the general public can be a bit of a pain. Yeah, oh, that's kind. Mike's offered to put Simon's card on his website. Haven't we had this conversation before, says Matt? I'm sure the caravan was going to be tarted up by summer. Yeah, you know, it was planned. It didn't happen. That's what goes on. We plan to do stuff, and then something way cooler comes along, so we do that instead. It's a fun way to go through life. You know, if you had the choice between, I'll give you a real life example. If you had the choice between tidying up a caravan and going out and buying a really cool MGTF on a hot day when you'd love to be driving with the roof down, what are you going to do? Obviously, you're going to go and buy the car, aren't you? And that's what keeps happening. Every time we think we'll do something mundane, something more cool comes up instead. And you're always going to do the cool thing, aren't you? I mean, at the very least, I will make the caravan more homely, so I don't have to take cutlery and whatnot. I will clean it out properly. I will equip it properly so that it's got all the bits it needs, and I will try and get everything working. as in water, heater. We got the cooker working, so that's something. But you know, it's not. It doesn't feel suppressing at the moment because it's summer. Come winter, we're really going to need it. Mike says, yeah, I've got a website, my other business, Mad Mike's Motors. Well, everybody go and do a Google search for that. Can't beat a proper coffee, says Joe. And Stephen S. Paul says, Boaty can't get it up. Tents, we're talking about tents. And I imagine I would struggle to erect a tent. It's a practical thing, and I'm no good at practical things. And sometimes I can do them when I'm used to doing it and I've had a lot of practice, and I've never put a tent up in my life. I'm so sorry. Joe says, what was the Tassimo coffee you drink? I like the Costa Latte or Americano. I like, Joe, the, what's it called? Oh. Whoops. Oh, I can't actually see. Oh, here we are. Kenko. Sorry about that, darling. You disappeared at some point. Sorry about that, darling. You disappeared at some point. Not sure how much you missed. The internet is obviously playing up for whatever reason tonight. So, and given that I'm knackered, we will knock it on the head at 12 o'clock. So, if anybody would like to have a go at naming tonight's stream, please do so, and I will play through the comments. If you buy the cars but then you keep them for weeks before selling them on without doing anything to them, then how is value added to them? What's to stop people funding the cars themselves? I don't understand that, to be honest. No, I don't get that. What's to stop people funding the cars themselves? No, don't get that. What's that, Mike? Hey? Stephen S. Paul says, even I have a car up for sale at the moment. The one owner 1988 Mazda RX-7 convertible. Comes with two different sets of BBS wheels, one gold anodized and the coloured silver ones. RX-7 convertible. Now, my memory might be playing tricks on me. I don't remember an RX-7 convertible. Wasn't the RX-7 a fixed head? Did they do a convertible variant? Am I just not remembering it? I mean, obviously the RX-7 was the rotary engined chap. A rather splendid engine if you didn't mind buying industrial quantities of oil. Originally used, I think, in the NSU R080, but I don't remember a convertible version of them. But obviously I'm wrong because Stephen S. Paul has one. Alan Jones says, good evening, Mr. Boaty. Good evening to you. But it says, mine was a pale gold 3-litre Elite rapid response vehicle. Oh, very similar. Mine was grey. And Buddy got it from BCA in Derby. Oh, yeah, I've been there. Boaty, how's your wine today? It's the normal cheap crap. It's perfectly okay. It's very welcome, and it will get me there. Simon says, to be honest, I'd sort the caravan out. Then it's usable and sellable should it need to be moved on. Well, feel free. You know where the yard is. We'd both be very grateful for your efforts. Joe says, my plan is to come up for the second week of August, as I can take time off work, but I'll message you to confirm with Paul. Okie dokie. And Matt says, yeah, I'd want the caravan done so I could be sat in comfort every Monday if I were you. Well, I can sit in comfort anyway. I mean, how much comfort do you want? Boaty says, putting up a tent is very much like making love to a beautiful woman. Unzip the door, put up the pole, and slip into the bag. I used to love Swiss Tony. I didn't catch what the coffee was. It froze the second you showed the box to the camera. And Simone is here and is in bed, but we'll give her a round of applause anyway. Mike's off to bed and says, good night, Jason, good night, humans, be kind. Where was I? Oh yeah, the coffee. Kenko Americano Grande XL is my coffee. I haven't actually got a packet. I've got a thing, haven't I? Oh, this is when the internet went off last time. Well, there's a bit missing, but that one. Basically, I like a strong black coffee. That's what I likes. Oh, finding rather than funding. Sorry, do I need to go back to that comment? What's to stop people finding? Right, okay, we'll go back to that comment. If you buy the cars but then keep them for weeks before selling them on without doing anything to them, then how is value added to them? Well, I didn't say not doing anything to them. I said that Mustard would be improving them as and when, as he went along. An hour on them here, an hour on them there, doing bits of paint correction, doing little jobs, etc., etc., etc. The cars that sit in Mustard's yard, unless they're wrecks, they do tend to get improved. They invariably leave the yard better than they entered it. I mean, that's what he does, isn't it? So that's one way in which value would be improved. Other ways would be, oh, well, and this is theoretical, but buying convertibles in winter and selling them in spring where they carry a premium, doing the reverse with 4x4s or more winter type vehicles, and just generally the passage of time, certainly of late, can improve the value of a car. I mean, I've got cars sitting out there that I've not particularly improved, but they're worth a hell of a lot more now than when I bought them. And sometimes the cars simply accrue value by buying them at the right money. And that's just a mixture of a lot of things, really. I mean, the skill to car dealing, and I've talked about this before, and it's probably not like it was back in my day, but selling cars has always been easy. The skill is in buying cars, buying the right car at the right money. And that's probably still true now, except people do it differently. If you can buy a car and you can retail it, you can put it out there on the retail market so that it's the cheapest car of that type and of that year. If it's the cheapest on Auto Trader, it's going to sell, and it's going to sell in short order. When you're dealing with classics or modern classics, then that changes a bit, because with a classic car or with a modern classic car, you can't force somebody into it on price, right? If somebody's looking for a 2010 Ford Fiesta, then the best salesman in the world, i.e. me, isn't going to be able to talk them into a Rover 25. You can't do it. So you can't hard sell them. And generally speaking, you can't force somebody into the car on price. If somebody's going to buy a classic or a modern classic, then they need to want the car. Price is going to be a factor. Obviously, they're going to go for they're not going to go for a price for a car that's stupendously overpriced. But with a classic or a modern classic, then people are going to buy it more with their heart than with their head. Now, I always sell to the head by telling them, look, but I sell to the head by telling them that it's basically okay to listen to their heart. Okay, your heart says, I would love a little convertible like that. So then you sell to the head and say, well, yeah, it's actually a really good second car to buy. Depreciation is not a factor. Own it for a year, you'll be able to sell it. If it's in the same condition, you'll sell it for more than you paid for it. Your insurance will be negligible. Your tax will be the tax. They're not as unreliable as you've heard. Blah de blah de blah. So you can do that, but they're going to be buying with their heart at the end of the day, and that's a very individual and subjective thing. So that's about the car particularly appealing to that one person. Now, we've all got our little quirks. Now, you all know me. You know that my cars have got to be silver, and I go for a certain type of car. And if I was a retail customer, then I would pay a premium for the exact type of car that grabbed me by the heart. So, well, let's say when I was looking for the Land Rover, right? I wanted a Freelander 1.5. I wanted the facelift version of the Freelander 1. And I wanted it. It had to be in silver, and it had to be HSE trim. So that really narrows the field down. So when I find the exact right car, then in theory, I'm likely to be willing to pay a premium for it because it ticks all of my boxes. And when you're selling them, the reverse applies. You're waiting for the person who comes along that car ticks all the boxes for. You'll get a better price from them, and you're doing the car a favour by dealing them into the car, because they're going to look after the car a lot better than Mr. Average, because they've got that additional level of emotional involvement. But that person could come along in 1 week, or they could come along in 10 weeks. And with classic cars and modern classics, you have to play the waiting game a bit, unless you want to try and force people into it on price. And that's fine if you're doing it purely as a business. But, you know, I mean, you can do it. You can put an MGF out there and make it the cheapest MGF with a genuine 12-month MOT on it on the market, and somebody will buy it. But the person that buys it has bought the cheapest one for a reason, probably, and the likelihood is that they haven't got the budget to run it. Now, does that bother you? If you're just doing it as a business, no. As long as you take your margin on the car, that's fine. If you're us, yes, it bothers us, because we know that car is going to end up, as soon as it shows a problem, they're not going to throw money at it. They're going to throw it away and think, I'll get another one for the same price. And stupid as it may be, we give a shit about that. So we try and find the right people, and that means that we might have to wait. Where did I get to? Oh, that's where I got to. Yes. That's right. Simone was in bed. Mike was saying goodnight and finding and funding. And Liz is here. Hello, everyone. Have I missed the intro music? Yes, you have. Well done. Americano, says Simon. Does Holly Johnston make it for you? No, and that was a shit song. He did nothing after he left Frankie Goes to Hollywood, did he? And when he held them to ransom, when Frankie were going to come back and do the live gig for, who was it for? The original live gig they were going to do was for, what's his name, the producer? He was the guy from the Buggles, Video Killed the Radio Star, and I can't remember his name, but he was a big producer. and there was a concert for him, and Frankie were going to reform and do that concert. And Holly Johnston said, well, I'm not doing it, so you can't. And they, so they did a thing. They did like their own version of Britain's Got Talent, or whatever their stupid things are called, where they looked for another lead singer. And they got this guy from musicals, and I can't remember what his name was either. But he did that gig with them, and then did all of their live gigs with them, and he was better than Holly Johnston. So that kind of rebounded on Mr. Johnston, didn't it? That'll teach him. Name for the live, says Jolly Juju. How many cars can you fit in one yard before Christmas? We'll screenshot that. My bearings arrived today, says Simone. Oh, well, that's a blessing. Hopefully you'll be able to, I don't know, walk better, jog better. They've been fitted by a competent professional rather than myself. Well, I'm glad to hear that. You know, if you're going to have your doings changed, then get the doctor to do it. Don't try and bugger about doing it yourself. Your mobility is important to you, and you should look after it and treat it with respect. Simon says, I hope it doesn't come across that I'm criticising. I'm just curious how it's all supposed to be working. Would you be better doing the commission for finding a car for someone route? No, because then we wouldn't get to play with them as much, and we wouldn't potentially get to own them. I mean, as to how it's supposed to be working, we're doing what we want to do, basically, and that is how it's supposed to be working. Now, if other people would do it differently, that's fine. If they think that we're not doing it as they think it should be done, fine. We're just doing what we want to do, and we're all very happy with it, and we're having a lot of fun. So that's it, basically. We're going around, we're buying cars that need a good home, we're playing with them. That good home might be with us, it might turn out to be with somebody else, and, you know, as and when we'll find somebody else and we'll sell them for a bit of a profit. That's how it's supposed to be working. We're just not in any great rushes, though. And we might not be doing it terribly efficiently because we're having too much fun. But what the hell? It really doesn't matter, does it? And no, you don't come across as criticising. It's I understand that it may not make sense to others. You know, this isn't supposed to be. It might be a potential business, but we're easing our way into it or something. You know, it's it just is what it is. But we are enjoying it. Matt says, Mustard, where are we parking on Sunday? Only there's a rumour your yard is full of cars to be sold. Well, there isn't really a rumour, is there? But I appreciate that was a joke. Thanks for a great live tonight, says Joe, but I'm going to head to bed. Work in the morning. Good night all. Good night to you. Weather forecast looks a bit soggy for Sunday. I just did a brilliant closing speech and the bloody internet turned itself off. Right, I've had enough of the dodgy internet tonight. Right, let's all head to bed while we can. Oh, I've lost that now. Where's that gone? Oh, it's here, isn't it? Because I turned the doings off. Are you still there? You are, right. We're saying good night, darlings. We're saying good night. Yes, we really are. It is that time. Bear with. Where's my doings? There it is. that's it. Sorry about the internet tonight, folks, and I'm sorry if you experienced buffering or sound or visual issues. It's just one of those nights. Tomorrow will be better, I'm sure. But thank you so much for your company. I've loved it as always. I couldn't appreciate you all any more than I do. And oh God, I'm so tired. Have a safe and peaceful night. Take great care of yourselves. Have the best day you can tomorrow. Much love to you all. Good night. God bless.